is a continuation tutorial of this property management system. I have already uploaded multiple functionalities of it, is like how we are going to like add the properties, display those properties, update the properties, and many more, like analytics. In my last tutorial I have added this, how we are going to admin can display the analytics kind of things, right? Now, like currently in a dashboard or in a booking property over there, we are going to, like, we have display all the property details, right? But now actually I'm going to develop another feature, like how we are going to display the available properties in a flex card, in a like any other menus. Like we will add another menus over there, let's say view properties, and once the user clicked on the view property, then they are able to see all the available properties over there. And also we'll add the book button over there, so that once the user clicked on the booked button, then they will able to book the properties, and we need to save the data. So that feature I'm going to cover today in this tutorial. So we need to create another component for that, and then we need to write the HTML for that, and we need to call the backend API for getting the available properties. So without further ado, let's create the component and do the development for this one. So first of all, what we need to create over here, we need to create the new component that is called the view property. So here how we are going to create the component, that already I have explained, that ng is the command, ng generate then component. Okay, these are the shortcut, G for the generate, C for the component. Where we need to create, we need to create under the components folder. Okay, so here we need to give the path components, okay, and then view property. Okay, so once the component will be, this will be created under this folder actually, then we are going to like defining the HTML over there. So and in the TypeScript file also we need to defining the services which will give us the display the, which will give us all the properties details which are we going to display. So if you see that view properties got created over here, so here in the TypeScript file currently it doesn't have anything, right? So in the TypeScript file basically we need to call that which will fetch all the services, fetch all the properties. Currently we are having this get all property methods, which will basically get all property, that backend services it is basically called. This is already exist into this over here. If you see that in the property controllers over here, we can get all property, this service already available. So if you call this one, it will return all the property, correct? So this service we are going to call from this over here. So how we are going to defining all the things over here? So first of all, we need to create one constructor which will basically inject that integration service, because this integration service actually having all the related methods, right? This integration service, all the methods it's having. So now we need to create one method, let's say get grid data, okay, or maybe we can define any name for this one also, like, okay, like get all the property details, get all property, get all property. Okay, now over here we are going to call this this dot integration service dot get all property, right? This method actually you need to call for getting all the details. Okay, so this subscriber we need to do, and then we need to defining one properties, list of properties basically. So after getting the response, we need to set it over here, means we need to assign the details over here. Okay, so here actually we need to defining this next and the error scenarios. Okay, this sanitizer, why it is needed for this images, because we are also having the images. So for this we need this inject, and we need to inject this DOM in his sanitizer services. Okay, so what it's doing basically in the next, then we are, whatever the response we are receiving for this service, we are assigning over here. This is the arrays of this property, means it will obviously it will return list of objects, so that's why we need the property array. Then we are setting the photos over here, sanitizing this one. In case of any error, then we are logging the exception over here. Okay, now over here we need to call this particular method whenever this module is getting loaded. Okay, so whenever it will be loaded, then we need to call this particular method. So ng on it is the method which will basically load on the time of the whenever the module is getting loaded. So here we need to call this dot get all property method in this on init method, get all property from over here. Okay, so now the thing is that the TypeScript wise we are done. Okay, so what it will do, whenever this module is getting loaded, then we need to call this get all property API, which will return all the properties from the database, and we are assigning the response in the properties. Properties is the list of array. Okay, so now in the HTML basically we need to defining the HTML file over here. So from the TypeScript file we are ready now. Now we are going to defining the HTML component, and we need to write all the necessary HTML things for display the properties in a flexcard mode. So for that we need to also add some kind of the CSS, so that I will do, but before that we need to add this one. Currently we don't have any HTML over here. So for that we need to defining different types of first of all, here in the TypeScript file we are having these properties, and from there we need to get the data, means we need to iterate these properties, and then we need to get all the details over, we need to print details over there in the HTML file. So let me add the HTML file over here. Okay, so if you see over here, this is the HTML. So here we are defining the section, then container, here we have added the one heading and the properties. If you see, for defining the multiple properties, we have used this for loop over here. How we are iterating, this is the properties that we have defining over here. These properties it's taken from over there, and then we need to iterating using this for loop, and then we are defining, let's say, the price over here, then city, state, the property title, then we are also added this kind of things, because these are the information we can add into the database, so those are also dynamically set over here. But for the time being we don't have this price field into the database, so that's why I am keeping these fields as hard-coded over here. But the city, state and the property title, all the things I am keeping are taking from the price, then city, state, the property. These are the already set, already we are getting from the properties details from the backend service. So then that's why we are setting it as over there, but this amount and this were not set, not we have set over there, so that's why we are keeping this as hard coded over here. Once they will click on the book button, then it will call this book property method. So this method we need to add over here. Okay, so this method we need to add, else we are going to get some kind of the compilation exception. So this is actually about this HTML file of it is. In next, what we are going to do, we just need to add some kind of the CSS over here. So we are going to add the CSS in this file style.css. So let me add this one. Okay, so now it's ready. So now what we are going to do, we just need to start this application. Okay, so once this application will start, then after the login we will check that how this property details is coming. But before that also we need to add this routing into the routing file, right? Else how we are going to communicate, and also in the layout section, in the menu section. Okay, so let me add those things in the layout. In the HTML file we need to defining these properties over here, let's say it's a view property. Okay, view property, and here it will be a view property. Okay, now this actually annotate this routing we need to add into the routing file. here in the routes over here. Okay, so here we need to add, correct? So once they will like clicked on this view property link, then it will be called this view property component. Okay, now we can check from the browser that how it is look like. So from the browser we can see that now the login is, we need to do the login. Okay, and then it will landed into the dashboard. Yeah, so in the dashboard basically if you see that this analytics is showing over here. Now if we clicked on this view property, then okay, maybe it's not saved. Let me see. View property.html, maybe it is not saved. Okay, now if we see that popular properties, correct? So this is coming in this way. Okay, so this is the like we can defining multiple different types of images over here. These are also you can dynamically saved into the database. Now once the user is clicked on the book, then we will do the book the properties information with the user information. So that portion I will cover in my next tutorial. For the timing, this is all about this how we are going to display the properties in a flexcard mode. So this is all actually about this one. And I will like if you see this it's actually in the backend it's executing all the SQLs over here, right? Okay, I will add this code into the GitHub so that you guys can access from there. And this is all actually about this, that how we are going to showing this view this property in a list. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please press the bell icon for further notification. Thanks for your time. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.